Well, there's a quote by an author, Napoleon Hill, that says, "Victory is always possible for the person who refuses to stop fighting," and Paul Shadle is one of those people.
He definitely is. A father of 3, Paul was diagnosed with stage 4 colorectal cancer in 2016. But rather than giving in to the disease, he never gave up. Now his story is on display in one of the most visible spots in the world, Times Square.
Times Square, that's right. Welcome, Paul. Good to see you.
Oh, thank you.
How you feeling? Thanks for coming in. Yeah, you look great.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, feeling really good. I'm glad to be here. And
Well, walk us through this journey, because when was it you were diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer?
Sure.
Start from the beginning for us.
Right. We diagnosed in July of 2016. At that time, went around searching online, for some resources, for some stories similar to mine, and just, help, in coping with what I was just diagnosed with, and came across Fight CRC, their organization, and they had an ambassadorship program that I applied for. And what that really did is we would go out and tell our story, share our story of our diagnosis and how we continue to fight with that. Put in the application, was accepted, and went through some training back in August of 2017. And that's when they, kind of go through these photo shoots. You feel like a rock star going through that. And then the campaign starts in March, which is Colon Cancer Awareness Month.
And it's a national campaign. Are there 25 people that were selected?
25 people selected for this class, yes.
And then we'll show some of that, because this is pretty cool. It's in Times Square, but when you think about that diagnosis, that day that you found out that you had stage 4 colon cancer, what was going through your mind? What were you thinking about? I mean, how do you handle a news like that?
Sure. The first thought comes to mind is your family, and you freeze up. You're like, well, how am I going to, explain this to them? And this was never going to happen to me. I never would have thought, a diagnosis like that. So a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, and then after that kind of goes away, then you want to fight for your life and do what you can to.
Now, 3 News now did a story on you. I watched that. I've seen some of your interviews, and you remain so positive throughout this journey. How did you remain that way and through such a negative thing?
Sure. I get a lot of my strength from my family, my kids, my wife, and seeing them every day. I derive a lot of inspiration from them, and want to stay positive as I can for them, to show them that you can fight through anything. And it helps, with the family and friends, that support.
And through all this, and I want to get to signs and symptoms of colon cancer, because that's very important, but I want to talk about this national campaign that you're a part of, on display in Times Square in New York City. How'd that happen?
Sure. We actually, when we had gone through the program, the process, I didn't know anything about the campaign that they had going out at Times Square. Up until a couple of weeks ago, they sent out an email, you're going to be featured out on Times Square, and I thought that was just the neatest thing. We had just been out there recently, and I sat there in Times Square looking at these big billboards.
And now you're on one. Look at you, superstar.
So yeah, very, very cool, and it's a great way to get that message out to a lot of people. Hopefully a lot of people get to see us out there, and that's the important thing, is not so much me being up on the board, but getting that message out there for people to be aware and go out and get that screening done.
Now, what would you say are the signs and symptoms that people should be aware of, and what were the ones that you had before this?
My symptoms were, they came on fairly quickly. I didn't have a lot leading up to it, and it's bloating and this abdominal cramping, any type of change in your stool habits, or blood in your stool, and those were the kind of the symptoms that I saw. Went to the doctor immediately, and he ordered a screening which is what they found the tumor.
And those screenings are so important. You hadn't had a screening prior to that, had you?
No. I was diagnosed. I was 44. And what the recommended age is 50.
It's 50, yeah.
Yes.
Unless there's a history. Yeah.
Unless you have a family history, exactly. Or you have any of those signs, beforehand. You should go and talk to your doctor about that. But yeah, so I wasn't really in that age category to go get that screening quite yet. But.
Well, before you go, we have, there's information on a selfie promotion with Bayer, correct?
Correct, yeah.
So we're really wanting to get the word out about this, and in order to do that, you take a selfie and you post it to Facebook or Twitter, and with each submission, you hashtag StrongArmSelfie, And for everyone that Bayer sees, they will donate $1 to
$1.
fight CRC. That's great,
We'll get
$1
on-
per one.
Absolutely.
It is
We're
We'll
gonna
have
do
to
that
do
later
that.
this
We're going to do it
afternoon.
right after the show.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, good deal.
Yes.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Well,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
for having
much.
me.
You're
Yes.
still going through this chemo treatment, so much success and
Yeah,
good luck with everything.
Good luck.
Thank you very
for
much.
sharing your story.
Yes,
we
thank you.
appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.